The internet is buzzing right now with breaking news. Selena Gomez has officially tied the knot with music producer Benny Blanco. Yes, you heard that right. After months of speculation, sweet social media posts, and a love story that fans couldn't stop talking about, the couple has taken their relationship to the next level. The wedding, kept mostly private, is already sending shockwaves across the entertainment world. For years, Selena's personal life has been under the spotlight, with fans analyzing every relationship she's been in. But this time, the spotlight is shared with someone many might not know much about, Benny Blanco. So who is this man that captured the heart of one of the most beloved pop stars on the planet? To some, he's the quiet genius behind the scenes, producing some of the biggest songs of our time. To others, he's that quirky, down-to-earth guy who seems to always put love and music first. But one thing is clear, with this marriage, Benny Blanco is no longer just a background figure in the music industry. He's now front and center, making headlines across the globe. But how did he get here? What's the story behind this Grammy-winning producer who went from making beats in his bedroom to marrying one of the world's biggest stars? Let's take a closer look. Now that we know why Benny Blanco is trending, it's time to dive into his journey. Because behind the wedding photos and headlines lies the fascinating story of a kid who turned his love for music into a life-changing career. Benjamin Joseph Levin, better known by his stage name, Benny Blanco, was born on March 8, 1988, in Reston, Virginia. Unlike many celebrities who grow up in big cities, Benny's childhood was a little quieter. But even as a kid, one thing was loud and clear: his love for music. He would spend hours experimenting with sounds, recording little tracks, and trying to figure out how to make beats. At just 6 years old, he was already playing around with a boombox and recording his voice. His family quickly realized this wasn't just a hobby, it was a passion. As a teenager, Benny became obsessed with hip-hop and pop. He was inspired by artists like Nas and All For One. Soon, he started making his own demos and sending them out to producers. And here's where a twist of fate changed everything. His homemade beats caught the attention of Columbia Records executives. Before long, the young producer from Virginia was connected to some of the biggest names in the business. But let's pause here, because this is where his story takes a major turn. Instead of just dreaming about making hits, Benny actually started producing them. By the mid-2000s, Benny Blanco was working under the guidance of producer Dr. Luke, learning the ropes of the industry. And soon enough, his name began appearing on tracks that dominated the charts. He co-wrote and produced songs like Circus by Britney Spears, TikTok by Kesha, and Teenage Dream by Katy Perry. These weren't just any songs, they were cultural moments, defining entire eras of pop music. Still, Benny wasn't chasing fame in front of the camera. He was perfectly fine being the guy behind the music, letting the artist shine. But fans of pop music soon realized that this producer's fingerprints were everywhere. His career skyrocketed through the 2010s. He collaborated with Maroon 5 on their smash hits Moves Like Jagger and Payphone. He worked with Ed Sheeran, Halsey, Rihanna, Justin Bieber, and The Weeknd. If you've listened to pop radio in the last 15 years, chances are you've heard a Benny Blanco song. In fact, his work has sold more than 500 million albums worldwide and earned him multiple Grammy nominations. But Benny wasn't just about hits, he was about experimenting. In 2018, he stepped into the spotlight as a recording artist himself. His single, East Side, featuring Khalid and Halsey, was a massive success. Suddenly, the man behind the curtain was front and center, and audiences loved it. The song became a global hit, proving Benny could make magic not just for others, but for himself as well. Of course, no story is complete without struggles. Benny has been open about his battles with self-doubt and insecurity. He often describes himself as a weird kid who didn't always fit in. But instead of letting that stop him, he turned his quirks into strengths. His authenticity is part of what makes him so relatable, and perhaps why so many artists love working with him. Now let's talk about his personal life, because that's where things get even more interesting. For years, Benny kept his relationships private. He was known more for his music than his personal affairs. That all changed when he and Selena Gomez confirmed they were dating in late 2023. Fans were stunned, and the internet had a field day. Some were skeptical, others were thrilled. But one thing was undeniable: Benny made Selena happy. The couple quickly became fan favorites. Their playful Instagram posts, public appearances, and undeniable chemistry won over even the harshest critics. And now, with their marriage making headlines, Benny Blanco has officially stepped into a new chapter. Not just as a hitmaker, but as Selena Gomez's partner in life. So what makes Benny Blanco so special? Maybe it's his ability to craft songs that define generations. Maybe it's his quirky, humble personality. Or maybe it's that underneath the fame and the accolades, he's still just that kid from Virginia who fell in love with music and never let go. As he continues to shape the sound of modern music and now steps into the spotlight in his personal life, one thing is clear. Benny Blanco's story is far from over. With Selena by his side and music still flowing through his veins, the next chapter might just be his most exciting one yet. So what do you think? Is Benny Blanco, the unsung hero of pop music, finally getting his moment in the spotlight? With his marriage to Selena Gomez, his story has only just begun, and you can bet the world will be watching.